Well, this is another story from my childhood. I don't even remember exactly how old I was, probably 10, maybe 12. But as we got older, my parents decided that my brother and I, who was 2.5 years younger than me, that I could take care of him and I could take care of myself. So occasionally they would go off and leave us alone at home in the apartment. Well, that's not exactly the best idea, leaving two boys alone together in an apartment with nothing to do but television and playing games and whatever. Because after a while, television gets boring, games get boring. So we had to be inventive. One of the ways my brother and I were inventive, we played this game called The Floor is Lava. Now, I have looked on the internet, and this is actually a phenomenon that is not particularly unique to my brother and I. The Floor is Lava seems to actually have been a game played and thought up by kids all across America. Go figure. But anyway, my brother and I played the game, The Floor is Lava. Now, what does that mean and how do you play the game? Well, the furniture, couch, chairs, even a rug, like a little rug just for the room, you know, not a carpet, but a small rug. Oh, I can't even think what they're called. That would be considered a piece of wood or a rock or something like that. That was a temporary place you could stand on and not be burned alive and destroyed by the lava. And furniture and chairs were also safe. Now, my brother and I were very, very competitive. And we're not exactly nice to each other. So during the game, The Floor is Lava, we would jump around from furniture to furniture. And of course, since we were against each other, the goal of the game was to overcome your opponent, cast him from the safe place onto the floor where he would be burned alive in the lava. Well, you know, my brother and I played this round and round, jumping from chair to chair, couch to couch. My parents would not have been pleased to see this. But this is how we did it. Now, occasionally an argument would come up, like, hey, your foot touched the lava. Your foot's burned off. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Or, hey, that magazine doesn't count as a rock. That's paper. That would burn up in the lava. You can't stand on a magazine and jump to the other chair. Yes, I can. Well, one of our arguments got so heated that it resulted in fisticuffs, even while we were standing in the lava. You're dead, you're dead. No, I'm not. You're dead, you're dead. Well, you get the picture. Now, when my brother and I fought each other, we really fought. And it wasn't exactly the kind of fight that would calm down anytime soon, because both of us were determined to be right. And if one of us decided to actually hit the other because they felt deprived of winning the game or their point wasn't taken as true, well, my brother and I decided that that was the ultimate no-no, to hit or be hit. So it would result in throwing things around the house, which would result in some things in the house being broken. And I remember one particular serious fight. My brother and I were chasing each other around the apartment, up and down the hallways, throwing things at each other, screaming at each other. I don't know why the neighbors didn't call the police, because it sounded like a true domestic squabble. But police never were called. Well, this one particular The Floor is Lava game resulted in, I don't know. My brother took a knife out of the kitchen sink and was swinging it back and forth out of the kitchen drawer and swinging it back and forth at me. Unbelievable. Who does he think he is pulling a knife on me? Well, that's the way my brother was. I cornered him while he was swinging the knife, and I timed the swing of the knife to where I could rush him. I got the knife away from him, scolded him, "You maniac, are you crazy? What's the matter with you? I oughta," the whole 9 yards. Well, he broke away from me. I still hadn't decided what to do with a kid, namely my brother, who would pull a butcher knife on me, or a big carving knife. I don't know. It was big and it was sharp, and I was scared, and I was mad. So I chased him down the hallway when he got away from me. And where's the safe place in the house during a fight? That's right, the bathroom, because it has a lock on the door. Well, I knew where he was heading. And he ran in the bathroom. He just about had the door shut. And I was able to put my weight against it, and I kept him from getting it closed. So here was this little gap, opening, widening, getting thinner, as I could see him in there saying, "Leave me alone, leave me alone." I was going to get him. I was totally going to get him. Well, he couldn't get the door locked. He couldn't get it shut to lock it, but he tried and tried as best as he could to take me out, so to speak. And I tried as best as I could to get in. What I didn't know is he had access to aerosol chemicals in the bathroom, namely the room freshener. When the bathroom gets stinky, you got the room freshener, the aerosol. My mom, being an Avon lady, she had a plethora of different fresheners for the room in case of the big stink. Well, my brother grabbed one of those cans, and here I am breathing vehemently through the door, threats and whatnot. And the next thing I know, my face is full of aerosol spray room freshener. In my eyes, in my mouth, in my nose. I could not believe that he did that. Of course, it worked because I backed away from the door. He slammed it shut and locked it. Once I determined that I was not going to go blind and I was not going to die from what I breathed, and I wiped it off, and I could still see, and I could still breathe, I was up the wall in fury. There was no controlling it now. So I began throwing myself against the bathroom door to get at my brother. My brother's inside screaming, "No, no, stop, stop." Well, guess what I did? I broke the bathroom door. I completely knocked it loose from the hinges, busted the lock. The door fell in on my brother. He's screaming. I'm going, uh-oh. I never thought I'd break the whole door, but I did. Was I worried about getting my brother for spraying me in the face? Was he worried about me getting him for spraying him in the face? No. We were both terrified that we broke the bathroom door. Now, this is not an easy thing to hide from your parents coming home. So we both agreed that the floor is lava game and subsequent fight and the spray in my face and the knife were not important enough to continue the fight. We had to team together. We had to fix the bathroom door. So we found tools. We found little screws to put the wood veneer back together. We found paint to repaint places that had split and torn. We did everything we could think of to make the door look right again and usable. And amazingly enough, before my parents got home, we fixed the bathroom door. And we were so worn out, so exhausted with fear and terror of what might happen to us, that the floor is lava game, great fight, with knife and spray can and broken door, we were done with fighting with each other, And we sort of congratulated each other on how well we fixed the door and how no one would ever know. And truthfully, to the day we moved from that apartment, my mom and dad never asked what all the screws were in the door, never questioned us exactly what happened. Well, that's the floor is lava story. Did my brother and I keep playing the game? Of course. Did my brother and I keep fighting each other? Of course. Did my brother and I decide it's not a good idea to lock ourselves in the bathroom? No, that still continued. But I never would throw myself at the door again. I had learned my lesson. I would just wait and get my brother later. And usually I did, in one way or another. And usually he would retaliate one way or another. And we were one happy family living there in suburban Maryland in Washington, D.C. Did you guys ever play The Floor is Lava? Maybe you did.